I'm going to go through all of the Pokemon I have reviewed and give them a second look, because sometimes I just make mistakes. I butcher a good moveset, or I completely forget about a great moveset, and I'm going to try to patch those in batches of about 1 through 50. And when I mean 1 through 50, it's going to be through Pokedex order. So this is going to be from Venusaur to Venomoth, and I'm going to try to look at some movesets that I kind of messed up. So I'm going through the videos, I'm reading comments, description edits, annotations, and hopefully I catch everything. So if you guys think I missed something from 1 through 50, I'll try to add into the next video. And if there is a moveset that you fondly remember that I should have done, like, oh hey, he screwed up this one, try to tell me that for future ones, so like 51 through 100, 101 through 151, or 150, and so on and so forth. So let's get into this, and this is actually a newer moveset that a very recent fan, Friday, had a support Charizard X. And I guess it might be worth mentioning because Charizard X can be very powerful with Will-O-Wisp, with Roost, and defensive investment. Now, on my initial video, I also forgot to mention Earthquake on the Dragon Dance set, which is very powerful, and I really made that around time where people were fearing a lot of like Talonflame and stuff. So now we have a lot more options. Earthquake, not going to get the Tough Claws boost, but still be very powerful, and then Fire Punch. Fire Punch, it isn't going to hurt you when you do it, it still gets stabbed, still going to have a lot of power, and this is pretty much the support set we saw for doubles. That in doubles, you're just Will-O-Wisp physical attackers, you still have a very high attack to deal with crazy damage, and your tankiness with that hit point investment means you can roost up really safely, and with a support Pokemon or an offensive Pokemon, this actually puts in quite a bit of work. Now, I do not know the fans' actual spread and stuff, so I assume 252, 252, but if you want to go defensive, you sure can. By fully investing in the special defense, now you're going to be really tanky, very balanced on that defense and special defense, and since you're using Will-O-Wisp, they're losing physical power. I think you can still go Adamant Nature into the attack, that way you're still getting base strength, and this is pretty good. Other than that, you might just want to go for special defense. Nature doesn't seem right. See, none of the other natures feel right, so going with this attack means that we're going to have a very powerful support Charizard X, and this is good at shutting down a lot of physical threats, as well as just putting damage across the board and being very powerful with it. Next up, we have Arbok. Now, I have a bad habit of putting leftovers on Poison-type Pokemon, so Black Sludge on this Arbok is going to be very powerful from a tanky aspect. And then the big thing I forgot about, Rest Shed Skin. That Shed Skin, 33% chance to have its status cured at the end of each turn. Well, that means you have Rest, and then you can really play this up very well, that you set up 1 or 2 coils or a stockpile, we'll get into that moveset in a bit, and then you have a chance of waking up that turn, so it's like a free rest, free heal, free status, curing and whatever, and then you can just kind of go up. You can also maybe even run Chesto Berry with this, so that means you're also going to have that chance of, using 1 or 2 coils, forcing yourself into the rest, guaranteed wake up, and then every time after that, you still have that 33% chance to wake up out of rest early, and then you're good to go. Now, as a Poison-type Pokemon, Steel types aren't really that good to go up against, so you can run Earthquake or Fire Fang, depending on your preference. Earthquake, more damage, but can be, like, levitated and stuff like that. Fire Fang, less damage, but it still has a lot of good pros and cons, so whichever one you want to run. And then Poison Fang. The reason why I like Poison Fang on this set is because 50% chance to toxic poison the opponent. That's what Badly Poison is. And that means you don't have to invest into your attack. Still going to be doing decent damage from that coil, even with the lower base power, but that's a high chance to poison your opponent, and then you can really just kind of stall out from there with more rest or little chip damage from Fire Fang, Poison Fang, Earthquake, whatever. Now, if we want to kind of take this to the next level, we can include Stockpile. Arbok, pretty solid stockpile Pokemon. We're going to need to change a couple things around, such as going into that Calm Nature, and then now we get to go Infestation and Toxic. So this is going to be a very heavy stall kind of aspect. They set up a lot of stockpiles, you become very, very brutal to kill, and then you just kind of do the same thing. You try to rest early, get that Shed Skin going, Toxic Infestation for a lot of burn damage over time, and that's pretty much it. So Arbok, just the Rest Shed Skin combo. Wanted to mention that because I did see it in the comments. Also, Raichu. When I talked about Raichu, I didn't realize how powerful of a doubles Pokemon it is because it gets a lot of really crazy things. Fake Out. Well, boom. You have a 110 base speed Pokemon, so you do want to go with like a Jolly Nature or something. That Raichu is going to come in, and then you have to make that prediction that if one of your opponent's Pokemon is going to protect, you attack the other one, and then you encore the Pokemon that protected the last turn, and that's a complete shutdown. Then you can use Nuzzle, it's just going to do damage, so you break Sash, get a little bit of damage, and then you also get that paralysis in there, and then knockoff. So you're removing items, doing a little bit of extra damage, and the way I see this is you can run it either tanky, so like hit point, speed investment, try to survive some extra hits right there, and maybe running that Citrus Berry, or you can just kind of play with the Focus Sash. But then we're going to not need that investment, so we might as well go with attack, and this is still going to be pretty solid. So we're looking for a little bit of chip damage off this Raichu, and a ton of support, and then also we can go with that Lightning Rod. They're going to get that immunity, draw in electric attacks too, so that means you can have a very powerful Pokemon being supported, something like Mega Gyarados, or even a regular Gyarados. You can set up Dragon Dances, you can do something like that, and you're going to have a lot of just strength and power from there, so this is going to be pretty solid from that. With Clefable, I already like reviewed Clefable a bit, but I still have to say that Clefable, stupid strong Pokemon. Calm Mind, Moonblast, Flamethrower, Moonlight, with pure hit point defensive, bold investment. You can't really get much better than this. And then there's Magic Guard or Unaware. Magic Guard means they can't really toxic you, they can't really burn you, you can't get outstalled. But Unaware means that if they're trying to set up, you can bring this in on Pokemon that's also using Calm Mind, and then completely destroy them. That really, this is one of the best sets for taking out a Mega Sableye because, oh, all those Calm Minds, doesn't matter. Moonblast, that's just a direct super effective hit, or I can use my Calm Minds, or if they've done something like Swords Dance, if they've done Belly Drum, no matter what they've done, Clefable can come in fresh, get its setup going, have a really high chance to out-tank it with just Moonlight into that heavy defensive nature, go for Calm Minds, and then really get a tanky sweep from there. Clefable, very powerful at doing that. And then Vileplume, when I was talking about my Vileplume sets, didn't mention Moonblast, so if you're going with whatever Chlorophyll or some kind of boosting from there, Moonblast, going to be fairy coverage, it has that dragon killing, has that dark killing, so it is something to mention. And I think that's it. So out of the about 25 Pokemon I reviewed up to this point, just want to patch in these little bits of sets for this. Charizard X and Raichu being good for the doubles, Arbok and Clefable, that tankiness, and then Vileplume. I think I forgot to mention Moonblast, so might as well go and mention Moonblast. Very powerful Fairy-type move, and that's good. Also, I did Clefairy in an Eviolite video, so I'll put like an annotation or something in the description for a Clefairy look, as well as some other Eviolite Pokemon. And I think that's it. So guys, if I have forgotten some kind of moveset in this batch or upcoming batches of Pokemon and you remember them very fondly, please tell me in the description what I need to do if I really screwed up or if I need to include a moveset in future videos. Thank you very much. Hope you all have a nice day, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video.